I know writers who use subtext and they're all cowards.
Man, don't you just hate them all? Well, if you happen to be a creative working in Hollywood today, then the answer is probably yes.
My source is that I made it the fuck up.
Either because you genuinely believe it, or because you think it's what you're expected to say these days just to get hired. But whatever the reason, there's been a bit of a change in the past few years in how men are portrayed on screen. Hard as it may be to believe now, there was a time when we were practically spoiled for choice when it came to cool, awesome, aspirational male heroes on the big and the small screen.
You mean like this?
This bad boy for life.
Whether they were scrappy underdogs who had to rise to the challenge,
This is all my fault. I can't save everyone.
or brave adventurers risking life and limb for fortune and glory,
The galaxy still needs its guardians.
or hard-bitten cops taking on the criminal underbelly of society,
I need nasty Mike. Bad boy.
they were a whole generation of men who kicked ass, triumphed against the odds and saved the day, and usually looked pretty cool doing it.
I'm going to need a gun.
Don't believe me? Fuck it, go turn on your TV and watch basically any commercial break that comes up in the next hour or so.
What in heaven's name are you talking about?
Tell me, how many dumb, hapless, incompetent husbands, fathers and boyfriends do you see constantly screwing up even the most simple household tasks and needing someone more diverse to bail them out?
Your top 5 films and why?
Oof. Big Trouble in Little China.
And needing someone more diverse to bail them out. Dumb, hapless, incompetent, and needing someone more diverse to bail them out. Now, this is a trend that I've noticed creeping into films and TV for quite some time now,
Not my fucking problem.
so let's take some time to look at each one in turn. And this is going to be a pretty big topic, so I'll probably have to make this video a two-parter to give each one the attention it deserves.
Part 2?
There is no part 2.
Trope number 1, the death of the stoic man. Pick out any random selection of mainstream movies that are more than 10 or 15 years old and give them a watch.
That's a good idea.
The stoic man.
What do you want to hear, man? Do you want to hear that sometimes I think about eating a bullet?
The stoic man. The stoic man.
No!
Do this and you'll probably begin to pick up on a few things, like the fact that men in older movies are generally able to convey a lot more by saying less. The stoic man.
You want answers! I want the truth! You can't handle the truth!
They're generally more reserved and project a kind of quiet confidence. They're less prone to big emotional outbursts.
You can't handle the truth!
They spend less time talking about themselves and how things make them feel, and more time grappling with whatever problem or issue is actually at hand.
What do you like to do? Do you paint, play ball, play an instrument?
Ride horses.
Dumb as fence posts, but very intuitive. In that way, they're not too different from high school girls. They might not have a brain in their head, but they do know all the boys want to fuck them.
Grappling with whatever problem or issue is actually at hand. When they decide to show aggression, it's generally controlled and carefully measured, and deployed at just the right moment for maximum impact.
Fire! Fire! We can't fire, sir! Why can't you?
In writing terms, this is what we refer to as stoicism. A stoic character is one that's generally reserved and emotionally distant, the kind of person who bears their troubles and discomforts without too much complaining. The men in movies and TV shows now tend to come across as annoyingly talkative and expressive, reacting emotionally to what other people say and do, instead of coolly observing and keeping their own feelings in check.
Hey, Stella!
Coolly observing and keeping their own feelings in check.
You're tearing me apart!
Coolly observing and keeping their own feelings in check.
One more person.
said I didn't. I'm gonna be here when you wake up.
I could have been a contender. I could have been somebody.
The reality is that most of the time, men just don't feel things as deeply as people seem to imagine.
You have problems.
We think too much and feel too little. We all want to help one another. Human beings are like that. We want to live by each other's happiness, not by each other's misery. In this world, there's room for everyone. We don't want to hate and despise one another. But we have lost the way. We need humanity. We need kindness and gentleness. Greed has poisoned men's souls. Without these qualities, life will be violent, and all will be lost.